can hardly conceive of how a society could work without money. Everybody gets that. See, that's our training. We're so imbued by evil, basically, because this is the weapon of the madmen, the evil, money-loving freaks, men that would commit genocide, any whatever, to keep their position in place in this world. They love their lives in this world. They love money, and they got it, and they want got control and everything all that good stuff I mentioned earlier, and they love it. But normal people are misfits. They hate their lives in this world. I mean, if you're mentally ill, you're normal. Basically, if you feel like you don't fit into this scene, man, count yourself blessed, lucky, fortunate, because you don't want to. You don't want to conform and comply to the ways of this world, this secular world religion. It's a bad religion, friends. God has all the answers. So the other command Christ gave, just love one another. Treat others the way you want to be treated, the golden rule. These are the laws, the rules, the advice with teeth. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I wrote this down, but, following God's advice is much more than a good idea. Rather, it is an imperative to survival. That's a survival of what? The body counts for very little. We all know, to ashes, dust, and all that crap. God's got to give us new bodies, man. That's it. And whatever we got to go through, whatever process, whatever it is, so be it. We have to trust somebody. We can't trust humans. I can't save your life. Your spouse can't. Your children can't. Your parents can't. But I can point to one that can. So can you. God can. Our survival is our soul, man. And people sell their souls right and left. A lot of them are unwitting. They don't even know it. That they've bought into this world by conforming to it, believing in it, trusting and having faith in it. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You can't. They're liars and cheaters and thieves and murderers running the show, man. Evil men. It's like an old timer advising a lone traveler that a bridge is out a few miles ahead of where you're headed, and it will be very hard to see that until it's too late. So the advice is decidedly sound, trustworthy, and peremptory. It's a new word I just learned this morning. Peremptory. Perem. Tory. Peremptory. I got to write a little neater. But anyhow, friends, that's the only way we're ever going to find true happiness. It doesn't mean your life's going to be easy. It's hard being human. But life's good. I mean, no matter what, life's good. And, serving others is very important to our well-being, our mental health. We've got to understand that, we need to be loved. And one way to be loved is to be appreciated. Okay, we've got to contribute. We've got to give of ourselves selflessly. This is how we find gratification, satisfaction in life. So we'll serve one another without any money. We don't need to. If everybody was handed the world on a silver platter from birth, okay, it'll work just fine, believe me. You can't show me a time in history when it's ever been tried, so you can't prove me wrong. So we could get to that point gradually if our money kept going up in worth. You'd have a few bucks and it's worth billions. It wouldn't matter. You understand? That would be the object, the goal, is to get to that point where money is irrelevant. And that's exactly what evil men fight tooth and nail against, and they've been very successful. That means the captives would be set free. That's exactly what's coming. You read what Christ said, the captives will be set free from these money lovers, these controllers, these control freaks, man. And if they won't repent, then, God's put between a rock and a hard spot for so long, and then he says, that's it. I'm dividing you. This is the harvest of the souls of men. You souls go here because you're not fit to be around the righteous and meek, and the righteous and meek inherit the earth. Not just a crappy earth like it is, with death and all this, all the problems, all those organic problems I talked about, but where the curse is lifted, and there is no more death. Okay, it is heaven. That's it. A perfect world without death, without anything bad organically speaking anymore, and certainly without any form of money. And we can imagine it. Don't say you can't until you try. You can. We can figure out a way to get along with each other in a world without any form of money just fine and have full freedom, universal prosperity, universal security. I mean, why does it have to be a trade-off? Who says security and freedom and prosperity have to be trade-offs? No, they don't. Not if God says they don't have to be. If that's his will that we all get along as equally beloved children, we're trying to please God and we're abiding by the commands, which are so simple a child can understand them. They're not difficult. So you understand how we could do this. Okay, if we simply turn to God for our strength, for the wherewithal to do it, we can. If we can imagine it, we can make it manifest. Just like everything else humanity has ever imagined, we've been able to make manifest. And we could do this too. All right, friends, I'm on to recent current events and other talking points I wanted to get into. Basically talking points here. But, I've talked about how stupid the laws of man are because, they're laws that just help evil men keep control over the masses. And they're arbitrary and capricious a lot and fickle. They're constantly changing. We have laws where there shouldn't be laws, and we don't have laws where there ought to be laws. And laws are just like rules, right? Regulations, advice. But the state has teeth, and they mean business. They're serious. This is the religion that counts. You forget all the other nonsense because all those religious are, they're milquetoast because they don't have any teeth. But the religion that counts is the secular world religion, the state. They tell you the prisons and the guns, and they'll tell you the laws that count. But yet those laws are constantly in flux, right? We all know that. I mean, hearsay, it might be rumor, I don't know, but here in California, I heard that a 14-year-old girl can get an abortion. Can you imagine that? Without telling her parents. Imagine that. But yet, they can't buy a chemical, at the store. It's like, what in the hell, what's this all about? I mean, a guy can have as many relations as he wants as long as he doesn't marry the women. So a guy can have, 100 different women if he wants. He can afford it, right? As long as the guy can afford it, the world, that's fine. There's nothing immoral about that. So the law, even in the secular world, some of the laws make sense. Now, don't murder, don't kill people, don't steal. There's, some of the laws of man, the secular laws, make sense, and they're consistent with all the major faiths in the world. But others of them are just arbitrary and capricious. They just make stuff up. Well, let's pull this number, 18, 16, 21, right? So at will, and it could change at any time. See, it shows that they've got no basis. It's not based on science. It's not. They don't even allow Mother Nature to do things. Look at spray in the skies, high altitude aerosolized spraying, what people call chemtrailing. Look it up for yourself, geoengineering. You think it's a conspiracy theory just because they're not talking about it on the mainstream media? You think they want to be responsible, liable for climate change? Could you imagine what that would cost them in terms of dollars and cents and being held accountable for what they're doing? This is what I mean. No law against that. Nobody's even asking. Oh, just put blinders on. Monkey see, monkey do. 3 blind monkeys. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Oh no, just deny it's happening and you be delusional, willfully delusional. That's what the secular world religion tells you to do. Just comply, conform. Otherwise, there's great rewards. You make a lot of money if you do this. But if you don't, look at that. Look what can happen. Prison, take all your stuff. And how about paying bail? You know where that comes from? Paying bail. Like an idol from the past. That's where that originated from. It's good to know the etymology of words. It helps you understand how they can change and evolve over the years and mean something completely different. In order to understand history, you got to understand the origins of words sometimes. I'm entertained and I learn from these small claims television shows I watch a lot. But you know something? I wonder how in the world this is a government entity, right? The courts, the judges, and all this, they're paid by the taxpayers. How on earth is this allowed to be commercialized? Judge Judy's making these millions and millions of dollars. How does this happen? What the hell's going on? This world is sick, man. We're a twisted species. I swear it'd be easier, it'd be cheaper to pay all these litigants than paying these salaries to these judges. How does this work? We all got to watch these commercials and we got to pay more for the product because they got to pay for the commercials. How does this work? This is nuts that we just all tolerate this and just, oh, well, just the way it is. Nobody asks. Try to find some information, do some